the hunger. You grew up watching honest people suffer, bills stacked on tables, arguments through thin apartment walls, parents pretending everything was okay. But you noticed something. The dangerous men in your city never looked stressed. Gold watches, dark cars, cash in envelopes. Nobody questioned them, nobody disrespected them. And slowly, you stopped admiring honest people. You started admiring powerful ones. At first, you told yourself it was temporary, just one job, one delivery, one connection, easy money. The first payment changed everything. Because money doesn't just buy comfort, it changes how people look at you. Suddenly, your phone mattered, your opinions mattered. People who ignored you started shaking your hand, and for the first time in your life, you felt visible. That feeling became addictive. Not the money, the power, the respect, the certainty. You stopped asking if it was wrong. You started asking how far it could go. And that question destroyed your life. Fast money. Money became unreal. Stacks inside backpacks. Cash hidden in walls. Late night meetings in empty parking lots. You learned quickly, never talk too much. Never trust addicts. Never use your real name. You became colder, smarter, harder to read. People thought you were successful. But success wasn't what changed you. Secrecy did. You stopped posting online, stopped answering old friends, stopped on telling people where you were. You disappeared while becoming richer than everyone around you. That's the strange thing about illegal money. It isolates you before it destroys you. Every week felt bigger. New watches, luxury apartments, VIP sections, designer clothes. You were living the dream people fantasized about. But there was one problem. You could never explain where the money came from. Every conversation became strategy. Every interaction became calculation. Your entire personality became a cover story. And slowly, you forgot who you actually were. The transformation. You stopped sleeping properly, not because you were working, because your brain refused to relax. Every black car looked suspicious. Every unknown number felt dangerous. Every knock on the door made your chest tighten. You started carrying weapons. Not because you wanted violence, because fear became part of your routine. Money changed your lifestyle. Paranoia changed your nervous system. Even parties felt different now. Loud music, fake smiles, people asking too many questions. You looked around constantly. Who's watching? Who's recording? Who's talking? Trust disappeared completely. Your circle became smaller, then dangerous. Because eventually, the only people left around you were criminals too. And criminals don't trust criminals. Everyone lies. Everyone hides something. Everyone is waiting for betrayal. You entered a world where friendship was temporary, but consequences were permanent. The first betrayal. It always begins small. Someone gets arrested, someone disappears, someone starts acting nervous, then rumors spread. Quiet whispers, suspicious glances. Phones suddenly turned face down. You felt it immediately. Something changed. One night, you received a message. We need to talk. 3 words. That was enough to ruin your appetite. You drove there in silence, hands shaking on the steering wheel. The meeting lasted 5 minutes, but your life never felt safe again. Someone was cooperating. Nobody knew who. And that's when paranoia becomes torture, because uncertainty is worse than danger. Now every conversation sounded suspicious. Every laugh felt fake. You replayed old memories constantly. Did he hesitate too long? Why did she ask that question? Why are they suddenly being nice to me? You stopped trusting everybody, including yourself. Sleep became impossible. Peace became impossible. Silence became terrifying. The empire. Ironically, this was when you became truly rich. Multiple properties, businesses, investments. people working under you from the outside, you won. You had everything people dream about: freedom, money, status. But freedom was an illusion, because illegal wealth owns you. You couldn't leave. You knew too much. You were connected to too many people. And the higher you climbed, the more trapped you became. Fast money feels like freedom in the beginning. But eventually, it becomes a prison with luxury furniture. You started checking exits everywhere: restaurants, hotels, clubs. You memorized escape routes, installed cameras, changed numbers constantly, became obsessed with security. Your home stopped feeling like home. It became a bunker. You weren't living anymore. You were surviving. Paranoia. You wake up exhausted. Not from work, from fear. You start imagining things. A car outside too long, footsteps behind you. A stranger making eye contact. Your brain never switches off, ever. Even around family. Especially around family. Because now you understand something horrifying. Anybody can become leverage. Anybody can become a weakness. Love becomes dangerous. Attachment becomes dangerous. You stop answering calls, stop going outside, stop trusting happiness, and eventually, you realize the paranoia followed you everywhere, into your relationships, into your thoughts, into your dreams. Money bought luxury, but it also bought permanent psychological warfare, and the worst part, you did this to yourself. The collapse. The collapse doesn't happen in one day. It happens slowly, mentally first. You become emotionally numb. Food loses taste. Music loses meaning. Success stops feeling exciting. Nothing satisfies you anymore because fear consumes pleasure. Then reality begins closing in. Arrests, raids, disappearances. People you knew suddenly vanish. Phones stop ringing. The empire starts shrinking. And for the first time in years, you think about escape. But escape is impossible. Because illegal business changes your identity permanently. Even if you quit, your past doesn't. You became rich, but lost the ability to feel safe. You traded peace for power. And power always sends the bill eventually. The final realization. One night, you sit alone in silence. Luxury apartment, city lights, expensive watch on your wrist. Everything you once dreamed about. And yet, your heart races at every sound. You check the windows again, check the locks again, check your phone again. Still afraid. That's when the truth finally hits you. The money was never the reward. Survival was. You spent years chasing wealth, only to become a prisoner of your own paranoia. And suddenly, you understand why some people choose ordinary lives. Because peace is worth more than power. Sleep is worth more than status. Freedom is worth more than fast money. But by the time you learn that lesson, it's usually too late, because illegal wealth leaves fingerprints on your mind forever, even after the money disappears. Even after the empire falls, the paranoia stays, and deep down, you know it always will.